Good morning, Mama T here, and we're going to put some makeup on today. So I'm going to start right out with my Milani eyeshadow primer. Get some of that out of the tube and put it on both fingers and put it on my eyelids. So that's our eyeshadow primer. So we got that on, and then we're going to get some face primer. The face primer I'm going to use today is the one from Dollar Tree, the Gel Grip Face Primer. I've been using that the past few days, and it seems to work well. Now I'll just squirt some out and rub it between both hands and put it all over my face. But I got me a wipe to wipe my hands off because that stuff is a little sticky. I guess that's why it works well. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to use the You Can Be Toffee Fusion Eyeshadow Palette. I've used that a couple times. I really like this palette. Came from Amazon. It works really good. It's very pigmented. So I'm going to show you first. Whoop, just about dropped it. I'm going to show you the color I'm going to use. And then when I go over to the palette to start using it, and I say, but first I got to do my light color up under on my whole brow. So I'm going to do that first in the upper corner and put that light color all over the eyebrows. So I'll go ahead and do that first. Then I'll go down to that color. It looks purple in the palette, but when you put it on, it really doesn't look purple. Looks more of a pink or reddish color. It looks purple while I'm watching this, but in person it did not look purple. I put that all over my eye, kind of spread it out some, see that I get it all over the place. I'm gonna have to clean that up here in a minute. So now look and see, what else do I want to use? What do I want to use on my eyelids? So we'll go with this shiny one right here. It looked like it would be light, but once I put it on, wow, it comes out dark. I've had that happen with this palette on the other shiny ones. They look light in the palette, but when you put them on your eyelids, they're kind of dark. So anyway, it's there. It's going to stay. Gonna wipe my hands off again. I'm going to take that wipe and get some of that off the below where it needs to be. It doesn't need to be way down there. That eyeshadow doesn't. So I'm going to wipe some of that off. Clean up a little bit under my eyes. So I got that done. Next I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm gonna start blending that in because it was kind of dark, so I wanted to try to blend it out as much as I could. Then I'm gonna take my little switch cleaner thing and try to get some of that off and continue blending. So I blend, 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 and keep blending both eyes, cleaning my brush, blending some more. And I work a little bit of time on this, a lot longer than I normally spend on blending because it was such a kind of a dark color. So I did spend extra time on this. Now there, maybe a little more. Just when you think I'm done, I do a little bit more. Clean it some more. Okay. And then I'm going to get my other brush again, the one I had used up under the top of my eyebrow, clean it off some. Go back over to the palette, and I'm going to put some of the light color up at the top again. And then I'm going to blend a little bit more with this brush. So we should be good and blended today on our eyeshadow. So there I go, blending, blending, blending. I'm going to put the palette up. You can hear me putting the plastic paper back into it. Cleaning that brush some more. And cleaning the other one to get those dark colors off of it so that when I go to use them tomorrow morning, they'll be kind of clean. Okay, I'll say, yeah, that looks okay. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. And I'm going to use my e.l.f. Instant Lift eyebrow pencil. Take the ends off, use the spoolie to brush my eyebrows first. Always do that first. Then I'll flip it around to the other end and start swiping on there to get some color into those eyebrows. And then I just keep going over them until I get what I think looks like enough. And in between, I will occasionally use the spoolie to, well, there I go, to use the spoolie to kind of blend it in and go to the other eye. Do the same thing, use that end to put the product on. And once I have what I think is probably enough, then I'll flip it around and use the spoolie again. And then I'll touch up just a little bit more. Okay, so that's enough of that. Put the ends back on. Next, I'm going to use my NYX Thick It Stick It. It's kind of like an eyebrow mascara. So I'm going to put some of that over both of my eyebrows. It adds some color, plus it has a laminating effect that kind of lays the brows down. I'm making a face there. I must have messed up. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to keep going. Go over to the other eye. And put some on that eye. And it adds just a little bit of color, not much, but just a little bit. So there's that. Done with the eyebrows. Excuse me. Before I started the video, I had already curled my eyelashes, so we're going to go right in with our Essence Lash Princess Mascara. Put some of that on them. I actually finally remembered to curl them before I started filming. There, I'm showing you where I got my spot that I always do. Every time I put on mascara, I put a spot there on my eye and have to wipe it off. So, you know, that's usual every day. Happens every day. Getting a little bit more mascara, going over to the other eye. I still really like this Essence mascara. I think it works really well and it's so inexpensive. I'm going to get just a little bit more and go back over both eyes just a little bit. Okay, so that's enough of that. Put the mascara back up. I'm going to dig me out a Q-tip because I've got that spot there where I messed up, like I always do, and I've got to go fix that. So I'm going to take one of my pointed Q-tips and go up there and get that off of there. There, I'm wiping a little bit more of that eyeshadow that I felt like was too far down. So I'm wiping some more of it off with my wipe. I'm thinking, okay, that looks okay. So next, we're going to use some concealer. And I had this Maybelline eraser there, so I decided I would just go ahead and use it since it was sitting there. And I really do like this thing, so I'll put some of that under my eyes. I'm like, I forgot my under eye brightener again. And I had it sitting right there so I would remember, but there you see, I forgot. So anyway, we'll just won't have any of that today. So I put the magic eraser around at different places. And then I'm going to take my concealer brush and kind of spread that around some, blend it in. Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush. I always start up there in the side of my eye because you know there's like a shadow there, so I like to put some there. Do it on both sides, under the eye, and then all over the other spots where I put it. Okay, then I'm going to take my stands out sponge and just kind of dab over that to pick up any excess. And that just makes, especially I've noticed with concealer, it makes it work a lot better. It doesn't settle in those wrinkles. Next, I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Foundation, number 415. Put about a pump and a half on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to take my BK Beauty 101 foundation brush, and then I'm going to start putting that on my face. I like the L'Oreal Infallible Foundation. I think it works really well, has really good coverage. So I'll keep putting that on. Down the neck to blend it in. And then I noticed I need a little bit more for my forehead, so I just put another, like a little quarter of a squirt. I put out on the back of my hand to do up there on top of my head because I didn't have quite enough. I get that all blended in. Still working on those eyes on the side of them to clean up that eyeshadow. Okay. Then I'm going to take my Stands Out sponge again and dab around on the foundation to pick up any excess. It just makes it look better if you do that. That's just something I recently started, but it does seem to work well. For bronzer and blush, I'm going to use this Physicians Formula Butter Glow and Go. So I'm going to use the bronzer side and put a swipe of that on each cheek. And then I'm going to take my little Kingmas dual-ended brush and I'm going to blend in that bronzer. I use the small end to do the bronzer, and then I use the larger end to do the blush. Okay. So I got that blended in, and I decided there on that side needed just a teeny bit more, so I put just one little bit and blend that in. There, that looks better. Okay, I'm going to take the other end that has the blush and put a swipe of that on each cheek. And I think my color on this Physician Formula stick is beachy pink is the color that I have. And then I just split my Kingmas brush around and I'm going to blend in the blush. Okay, so that's it for our bronzer and blush. I'm looking for a powder. I forgot to set one out of my vanity, so I'm looking for one. And I come across the Essence Flawless Skin Trio, so I decided I would just use it. I'm showing you the three colors. It has a peach, a pink, and a purple. And I just pour some out, whatever color comes out, that's the color I use. I take my little under eye brush and put some setting powder under my eyes to set that concealer. And then I'm going to take my BK Beauty 102 powder brush, dip some of it in there and start putting it across my whole face. Again, this powder is very inexpensive and it works great. I really like it. Okay, so that's the powder. Next, I'm going to do my bottom eyelashes because I always wait till I get everything else done before I do them. So I'm going to work on those for a minute with the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. Okay, I decided that's enough. So then the final step is my L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting spray. I am going to work today, so I do want my makeup to last all day, so that's why I'm using this one. So I just spray some of that on. So there's that. So I'm telling you, I'll be right back. And here I am. I added some Lip Duo by LA Colors. The color is Vibe. Fixed my hair, and there we go for the day. See you next time.